Do you have someone identified to make financial decisions on your behalf if you were to become incapacitated? No? Well, stick around. I'm about to explain why you need it. Hello, thank you so much for joining me for Incapacity Planning 101. You Have the Power series. This is episode number 2. I am the estate planning mom, and my name is Krista Hermans. I am an estate planning attorney licensed in California, and I help families with minor children protect their kids and their families through estate planning. Please make sure to click that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when we release videos every Thursday. During this series, we are focusing on incapacity planning and the things that you can do to make sure that you have a plan in place. Today, we are talking about a power of attorney document. So what is a power of attorney? A power of attorney is a document where you identify an agent to be able to make financial decisions on your behalf if you are unable to do so. This essentially is where they step into your shoes to be able to go to the bank, go to the post office, pay your bills, pay the mortgage, file your tax returns. And it's all the things that you would want to have done if you were incapacitated to keep the lights on in your home. Okay, it's very important that you trust the person that you're identifying as your agent because they do have so much control. And another point I want to bring up is when you identify an agent to act in the capacity of the power of attorney, they're not taking complete control. They are acting on your behalf. So they are following your wishes. Another thing, and with a lot of the families that we work with that are younger families, they don't want to sign a power of attorney giving away complete control at that point, at that moment when they sign it to that agent. So we actually use language, it's called a springing power of attorney. So the agent only springs into effect upon the incapacity. So it's kind of like just having a plan in place that if something were to happen and you were to become incapacitated, the document springs into effect and your agent has the ability to do the things that we just talked about. Okay, number 2, who needs a power of attorney document? Anybody over the age of 18 should have a power of attorney document. And I definitely tell this a lot to people if they have young adult children or kids that are just turning 18. You want to make sure that you have the kids complete a power of attorney document so that if something were to happen and let's say they go off to school, you have the ability to help them in emergencies by going to their bank, paying bills, doing things for them if they were unable to do so. So it's a very important document that, again, anybody over the age of 18 should have. Okay, number 3. So why do you need a power of attorney document? Well, if you tuned into my first episode when we talked about conservatorship and guardianship, by having a power of attorney document, it prevents having to go through the court. So it avoids court-supervised conservatorships or guardianships. And that is where a judge makes the decisions on your behalf on who the agent would be. So it could be a family member, again, that would be identified by the court that you would never want making financial decisions for you. Or it could be a complete stranger, somebody who actually does this as a job and they are agents for people that are appointed through the court. So that's why it's so important to have a power of attorney document done to prevent the court assigning that for you if you were ever incapacitated. It's very important that when you complete a power of attorney document, you want to get it done now while you are in good health, because now you have the ability to identify the agents that you would want making decisions for you, as well as putting your other wishes in there on what you would want. So again, this is more of planning during well-being rather than planning during an incapacitating event, because at that point it's really just crisis planning, and that involves the court, which is what we're trying to prevent. Okay, number 4. Who do you choose as an agent for your power of attorney? Oftentimes, if you're married, it could be your spouse that you would want as your agent, so that person to be able to make financial decisions on your behalf. A lot of the families that I deal with are younger families, so they actually want their parents to fill in that role as an agent. Some want brothers and sisters, maybe aunts and uncles, cousins, or a really close family friend. If you don't have anybody, you could actually choose a professional fiduciary to fill in that role, somebody that is their job to manage this type of event and finances for somebody that was incapacitated. Okay, so some of the other factors to consider when trying to choose an agent for your power of attorney. Where does the agent live? So if you live in one area and they're close by, it might be beneficial that if they ever needed to act on your behalf, they were close by to be able to do that. However, I do see people that list agents that are in a different state, and that's just who they want. Given the technology that we have nowadays, it's very easy for somebody that's located far away to be able to manage some things over the internet or through telephone. But again, it's really your preference. If you can find somebody local that you trust, it might just be easier for you. Okay, how organized is the agent is another factor to consider. So, just looking at how they function in life. Do they always seem put together and know what's going on and are meeting deadlines, paying bills, things like that? You want to make sure that the agent that you identify, in addition to managing their own life and family, that if they ever needed to, could step into your shoes and handle things for you. So along those same lines is how busy is the agent that you're identifying? If this is somebody that has a full-time job and has a family and has kids, would they be able to manage their family and their children and their job in addition to helping you with your situation and keeping things going through your life while you are incapacitated? Again, all factors to consider when trying to identify your agent. Maybe one of the considerations is does the agent have any type of financial experience? So not necessarily that they're a financial advisor, they don't need that, but do they have the knowledge and experience on paying bills for their own family? Do they know what it takes to file tax returns? It's those kind of things that you want to consider, making sure that they have the ability and knowledge to be able to do that for you in addition to for what they're doing for them. Okay, last thing that I want to talk about when you're considering factors is the agent that you are identifying. Would they serve for you? Like, would they actually be willing to serve? So this is a really big point where you might want to talk with the agent that you're identifying and just confirm with them that they are okay actually being listed on your power of attorney document, that they would be okay handling any of those responsibilities that came with being a power of attorney if you were to ever become incapacitated. Okay, last one, number 5. So you want to make sure that you name a backup agent. Okay, so let's say you name your spouse as your agent and you're in a car accident with your spouse. Then at that point, the agent that you've identified on your power of attorney is also incapacitated, so they can't help you. But if you list a backup agent, or in my recommendation, list 2 backups, then you really make sure that you have that plan that if something were to happen to the first or even the second, like they couldn't serve for whatever reason, you have a 3rd backup there. Okay, so you're gonna have primary and then 2 backups. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when new videos come out every Thursday. And if you have any questions about incapacity planning or any type of estate planning, please feel free to comment below or send us a message. Thank you so much and have a great day.